In the year 2085, humanity ventures deeper into the cosmos, harnessing faster-than-light travel to explore distant galaxies. Isla Newton, a young woman, lies motionless in a sleek space capsule, her eyes shut tight. Suddenly, the capsule's systems begin to activate, causing a series of lights and sounds to flash urgently. This disturbance jolts Isla awake, her eyes flying open, and she lets out a terrified scream as the unfamiliar surroundings overwhelm her. After losing consciousness again for a brief moment, Isla slowly awakens, her body still confined to the capsule. Confusion fills her mind, with no memory of how or why she ended up here. Desperately, she calls upon her AI assistant Ada, hoping for answers. Ada calmly informs her that they are in orbit around a planet known as Q465b. Confused and alarmed, Isla asks Ada about her boyfriend Philip, her voice trembling with worry. Ada responds, explaining that Philip's capsule has suffered a power failure, leading to critically low oxygen levels. He is now floating helplessly in space. Fear grips Isla as she tries to make sense of the situation, scanning her capsule and trying to understand how they ended up separated from the main ship, the CIS. Desperation takes hold, and she commands Ada to plot a course toward Philip's location. Ada, however, warns her that such a course would consume a large portion of their energy reserves, leaving them with little chance of making it back to the ship. "Are you certain you want to proceed?" Ada asks. Without hesitation, Isla firmly responds, "Yes, do it." Following Islan's command, Ada activates the engines, and their capsule surges forward through the vastness of space, closing in on Philip's drifting capsule. As they near, a fuel warning flashes on the screen, signaling dangerously low levels. Isla, thinking quickly, orders Ada to apply the brakes and engage the left side thrusters to steady their approach. Once close enough, Isla skillfully uses ropes to secure the two capsules together, successfully docking them. With Philip's capsule now attached, she instructs Ada to reverse their course and head back toward the CIS, their only hope of survival. As they make their way back to the CIS, Isla notices yet another warning about their fuel reserves dropping dangerously low. Moments later, Ada confirms that they have completely run out of energy. With no other options left, Isla makes a bold decision and commands Ada to unlock the doors to lockdown Block 2, fully aware that this could cause them to lose control of their course. Despite the risks, she remains resolute and instructs Ada to activate the top magnetic connectors, hoping they will successfully latch onto the CIS and secure their survival. Once back aboard the ship, Isla carefully lifts the unconscious Philip, his weight heavy on her shoulders, and orders Ada to unlock the medical bay. Inside, she gently places him onto a bed, swiftly fitting an oxygen mask over his face and hooking him up to a diagnostic machine. Philip shows almost no sign of life. His eyelids barely twitch. Concerned, Isla manually checks his breathing and pulse, finding only the faintest hints of life. She questions Ada about the medical equipment, and Ada confirms that everything is functioning perfectly. Still, Philip's vital signs remain at zero, leaving Isla confused and fearful. Desperate for hope, she asks Ada for reassurance that Philip is still alive. Ada asserts his survival, despite what the readings indicate. Refusing to give up, Isla instructs Ada to continue delivering oxygen through the mask, determined to save him against all odds. As Isla struggles to process the aftermath of their harrowing flight and the mysterious circumstances that derailed their mission, she is filled with questions. Exhausted and desperate for answers, she asks Ada, "What the hell happened?" Ada's response is unsettlingly simple: "I don't know." Attempting to piece together what went wrong, Isla presses Ada, asking why their capsules were ejected from the ship in the first place. Ada, however, denies any responsibility, stating that she had no hand in initiating the ejection. Confused and unsettled, Isla insists there must have been a reason. They couldn't have just ended up floating in space without something causing it. Her mind races with the possibility of external interference. Suddenly, a disturbing muffled noise echoes through the ship, sending a chill down Aylin's spine. Her heart races as fear takes hold, and she cautiously whispers to Ada, "Is there anyone else on this ship besides us?" Ada responds calmly, assuring her that only she and Philip are aboard. Still uneasy, Isla rephrases her question, her voice trembling as she wonders if the noise could be caused by an alien presence. Once again, Ada reassures her there are only two living beings on this ship. Despite the reassurance, the unsettling sound lingers in Aylin's mind. Determined to uncover the truth, Isla presses further, her voice filled with unease as she asks Ada to check the number of heat sources around 37 degrees Celsius, the average body temperature of a human. Ada's response is immediate and unsettling. 3. A cold shiver runs down Aylin's spine, realizing that something or someone else is aboard the ship with them. Gathering her resolve, Isla grips her weapon tightly and moves cautiously toward the mysterious third heat source. As she approaches, her nerves are on edge, and she spots movement just behind the door leading to the control compartment. Heart pounding, she instructs Ada to open it. The door slides open, but before she can react, a shot echoes through the ship, knocking her firearm out of her hand and sending her sprawling to the floor. Stunned, Isen looks up to see Philip standing in the doorway, now fully conscious and armed. But something is off. This Philip isn't the same as the one who was unconscious just moments ago. Yet despite the shock, there's an unmistakable recognition between them. Together, Isen and the other Philip make their way to the medical bay, determined to uncover the truth behind the baffling situation. Standing before the body of the original Philip, the other Philip eyes Isen with suspicion and turns to Ada. Is she really who she claims to be? He asks, his voice laced with doubt. Ada affirms that Isen is indeed who she says she is, though the other Philip remains unconvinced. Isen, equally wary of the stranger posing as Philip, demands that Ada verify his identity. Once again, Ada confirms he is Philip. The confusion deepens as Isen points to the unconscious figure on the bed and asks, "Then who is that?" Ada repeats the same confirmation, causing frustration to bubble up inside Isen. "How is that possible?" she demands, to which Ada responds in her usual calm manner. "I cannot explain this discrepancy. The mystery only grows more unsettling." Suddenly, the other Philip speaks gravely, his voice tinged with sorrow. "You're not alive anymore, Isen," he says, shaking his head. Shocked, Isen listens as he recounts the recent incident, how the hyperlight core malfunctioned, forcing them to wake up from cryosleep to handle the emergency. Isen had volunteered to venture outside the ship, working on repairs in space, while Philip monitored the core's external sensors from within. They had fought for hours to fix the malfunction, but then disaster struck. A powerful explosion had rocked the ship just 2 hours ago, and Philip had watched helplessly as the blast consumed Isen's capsule, killing her instantly. Now faced with her standing before him, alive and well, Philip wrestles with the impossible, seeing her again after witnessing her death firsthand. Isen, struggling to make sense of the situation, feels the weight of disbelief settling in. Her mind races, but a sudden moment of clarity pushes her to ask Ada for the current date and time. Ada's response is staggering. On Earth, it is March 22nd, 2011, 3 o'clock, and according to standard orbital time, it is 954 hours, 34 minutes, and 54 seconds. "What?" Isen exclaims, her voice filled with shock. As the horror of the situation settles in, she realizes that their ship should have exited hyperlight 2 hours earlier. Something clearly went wrong. She turns to the other Philip, urgently asking, "Did you activate the distress beacon?" Philip nods, confirming that he followed all the necessary protocols. In that moment, it all clicks for Isen. She and Philip are not just victims of the malfunction, they are here to respond to the distress signal. In a moment of clarity, Isen formulates a theory, her voice steady despite the unnerving realization. She suggests that they are experiencing a collision of parallel realities. When her version of the CIS arrived, it encountered the other Philip's CIS, already existing in this reality. The overlap of realities, she theorizes, led to the death of the first Philip, as two versions of him could not coexist in the same space. In contrast, Isen survived because her counterpart in this reality did not. The other Philip listens, struggling to fully grasp the unsettling implications, but he reluctantly acknowledges the strange duality they now face. Agreeing to press on with their tasks, Isen and the other Philip divide their responsibilities. The other Philip prepares to hack the processor, focusing on the intricate systems within the core, while Isen takes on the task of inspecting the boundary controller. After a detailed check, she discovers a critical issue. The controller has lost connection with the rest of the ship's systems. Concerned, she quickly asks Ada about the location of her quantum equipment, which she needs to restore the connection. Ada responds that the equipment is still in the docking bay. Noticing her frustration, the other Philip steps in and offers to retrieve it himself, ready to assist. A dreadful thought suddenly seizes Isen. As the other Philip heads off to retrieve the quantum equipment, she quickly moves to close and lock the door to the docking bay, sealing him inside. Confused and concerned, the other Philip rushes to the door, calling out to her, trying to reason with her. But Isen, her voice steady and filled with grim certainty, reveals the harsh truth. The boundary controller has caught fire. This catastrophic failure means they are now trapped, and the malfunction could leave them confined for years. As the full weight of the situation becomes clear, the other Philip understands Isen's intentions. She wants to bring back the first Philip, even if it means sacrificing him. Her desire to spend the rest of her life with the original Philip drives her to this desperate act. "Don't do this," the other Philip pleads, his voice filled with desperation. Isen, determined, prepares to eject him into space. Ada, following protocol, initially refuses to open the docking bay doors while someone is inside, but Isen forcefully switches to manual control control, pushing forward with her plan. Just as the other Philip is about to be expelled into the void, he manages to utter one final message. The first Philip will figure everything out. As the docking bay doors shut, life surges back into the first Philip's body. Isen stays close by his side, her heart heavy but relieved, whispering how deeply she missed him. Philip, still groggy and disoriented, thanks her for taking care of him, unaware of the price that was paid to bring him back. Would you have made the same choice as Isen? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the story, and subscribe to the channel for more thrilling videos. See you next time!